I'm Philip Sneller. Welcome to When Knowing the Word. Today, let's listen together to Genesis chapter 37. And Jacob dwelt in the land of his father's sojournings, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, who was 17 years old, was a shepherd with his brothers with the flock. He was a youth with the sons of Bilhah and the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought a bad report about them to their father. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his sons, because he was a son of his old age. And he made him a full-length tunic with long sleeves. Some translations render this as a coat of many colors. And when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and could not speak peaceably to him. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it to his brothers, and they hated him even more. And he said to them, "Please listen to this dream that I dreamed. Behold, we were binding sheaves in the midst of the field. And behold, my sheaf arose and stood upright, and behold, your sheaves surrounded it and bowed down to my sheaf." And his brothers said to him, "Will you indeed reign over us? Will you surely have dominion over us?" And they hated him even more because of his dream and because of his words. And he dreamed once more another dream, and he told it to his brothers. And he said, "Behold, I dreamed another dream. And behold, the sun and the moon and 11 stars were bowing down to me." And he told his father and his brothers. And his father rebuked him and said to him, "What kind of dream is this that you dreamed? Will I and your mother and your brothers indeed come to bow down to the ground before you?" And his brothers were envious of him, but his father kept the matter in mind. And his brothers went to pasture their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, "Are not your brothers pasturing at Shechem? Go, for I am sending you to them." And he said to him, "Here I am." And he said to him, "Please go, look after the welfare of your brothers and the flock, and bring word back to me." And he sent him from the valley of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. And a man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, "What are you looking for?" And he said to him, "I am looking for my brothers. Please tell me where they are pasturing." And the man said, "They departed from here because I heard them say, 'Let us go to Dothan.'" So Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. And when they saw him from a distance, before he came near them, they conspired to kill him. And his brothers said to one another, "Behold, this master of dreams is coming. So now, come, let us kill him, and throw him into one of the pits. And we will say a wild animal has eaten him. Then we will see what will come of his dreams." And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him from their hands, and said, "We must not take his life." And Reuben said to them, "Do not shed his blood. Let us throw him into this pit that is in the wilderness, but do not lay a hand on him," so that he might rescue him from their hand to return him to his father. And it came about, as Joseph came to his brothers, they stripped Joseph of his tunic, the full-length tunic with long sleeves that was upon him. And they threw him into the pit. And the pit was empty. There was no water in it. Then they sat down to eat bread. And they lifted their eyes and looked, and behold, a caravan of Ishmaelites was coming from Gilead, and their camels were bearing spices of balsam and myrrh, going to bring them down to Egypt. And Judah said to his brothers, "What profit is there if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites. Then our hand will not be against him, because he is our brother. He is our own flesh." And his brothers listened to him. And the traders from Midian passed by, and they lifted Joseph up from the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph to Egypt. And Reuben returned to the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit. And he tore his garments, and he returned to his brothers and said, "The boy is not there, and where will I go?" So they took Joseph's tunic, slaughtered a goat, and dipped the tunic in its blood. And they sent the full-length tunic with long sleeves and brought it to their father. And they said, "We found this. Now observe whether it is your son's tunic or not." And he recognized it and said, "It is my son's tunic. A wild beast has eaten him. Joseph has surely been torn to pieces." And Jacob tore his clothes and put sackcloth on his loins and mourned for his son many days. And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, "Surely I will go down to Sheol to my son, mourning." And his father wept for him. And the Midianites sold him in Egypt to Potiphar, a court official of Pharaoh, captain of his bodyguard. Thank you for listening. To God be the glory.